So they're coming into line again, and away they go this time. On the way towards this first fence, Silverman and Sydney Opera, the two greys disputing the lead as they come down to the first from Go Jack in third place. And Go Jack has gone up the first fence. Just crumpled on landing, horse up okay. James Nixon looks okay as they come to the second. Sydney Opera from Silverman and Millie Malone. Regal Reform on the outside of I'll Come Here to Me. So just the five are going to go past the judge with a couple of circuits ahead of them, and Ali Sterling on Sydney Opera is going to lead up the third fence from Silverman. And Millie Malone, Regal Reform and I'll Come Here to Me got a bit close to that one, lost the length at the back of the field. So they race through the hedge and on towards fence number 4. Sydney Opera from Silverman. Then Millie Malone didn't get too high at that one. In third place, on the inside is I'll Come Here to Me, on the outside is Regal Reform, as they make the dust fly going round that bend and head towards the back straight. So the Millie Malone looks as if Hannah Lewis is having a problem with the saddle there. I think she's probably trying to pull up because the saddle slipped, but we'll see. Perhaps she's back okay now, I don't know, but heading into the back straight for this first time. And up front, Sydney Opera from Silverman. Those have been up there throughout from Millie Malone. Millie Malone looks okay now. Oh, but really stepped at that one. Lucky to survive, really, as they head now towards this first open ditch. Hope we don't do the same with this one, because Sydney Opera leads them into it from Silverman, Millie Malone, and then the other two fairly close up, and Millie Malone banked that one again. That open ditch. Hannah Lewis having a bit of a torrid time on that one as Sydney Opera leads at this one from Silverman. Millie Malone did at least jump that one decently then from Regal Reform and I'll Come Here to Me. So this is fence number 8. Sydney Opera comes to it with a 4 to 5 length lead from Silverman. Millie Malone slipped, lost her back legs on landing there, about a stride after the fence actually, so that one's not having much luck at all in this race as they head into the poplars for the first time and on towards what was their first fence, fence number 9 it is on this circuit. So Sydney Opera by 4 lengths from Silverman, another 6 back to Millie Malone in third place. Then comes Regal Reform and I'll Come Here to Me as they straighten up to jump this next plain fence. Sydney Opera jumping well in the lead. Silverman also jumping well in second place. Then Millie Malone races on the outside of Regal Reform. I'll Come Here to Me still at the back of the field as they come to jump this fence. It'll be the last next time. Sydney Opera didn't get so high at that one, but is over safely with a 5 length lead from Silverman. 6 lengths then back to Regal Reform. And just making a bit of headway now on the outside is I'll Come Here to Me. Goes by Millie Malone. Up the next, Sydney Opera, Silverman, Regal Reform. Millie Malone dived at that one. Hannah Lewis doing very well to retain her seat in the saddle there, but passed by I'll Come Here to Me as the leaders now come to fence number 12. So it's Sydney Opera from Silverman and Regal Reform, I'll Come Here to Me, and Millie Malone has dropped back to last place. So making the sweeping bend into the back straight then for the final time. Sydney Opera by 2.5 lengths from Silverman, another 3 then back to Regal Reform, half a length to I'll Come Here to Me, and about 3 or 4 back to Millie Malone. So 6 fences to jump, one of which is the open ditch, of course the second one in that back straight. Sydney Opera and Ali Sterling with a 3 to 4 length lead from Silverman. Sydney Opera over from Silverman, and then Regal Reform, I'll Come Here to Me, and Millie Malone as they race now towards this final open ditch. Sydney Opera comes to it with a 4 to 5 length lead. Jumps it well from Silverman. Come here to me, he certainly didn't jump the fence, so that one's going to... I don't know whether that was a run out or a pull up, but he's out of the race. Just the 4 of them, Sydney Opera from Silverman, then Regal Reform and Millie Malone. So Sydney Opera comes down towards the 3rd last fence with a lead of about 5 to 6 lengths over Silverman in 2nd place, the odds-on favourite. They're clear of Regal Reform and Millie Malone. And Nick Slatter's getting to work now on Silverman as Sydney Opera maintains a 6 to 7 length lead as they go into the Poplars. This one trained by Alan Phillips and comes into this home straight with a good 6 length lead over Silverman in 2nd place. They're clear of Molly Malone and Regal Reform. So just 2 fences to jump. Sydney Opera and Ali Sterling come to it, up and over, clear of Silverman in 2nd place. Millie Malone is pulling up before that one, so just the 3 remain. Sydney Opera then comes down to this final fence with a good 6 to 7 length lead over Silverman. Gets in a bit close. Silverman jumps it a bit better, but it's Sydney Opera for Ali Sterling. She won the Hunter Chase at Bangor. Silverman's putting in a rattling good finish, but it's Sydney Opera who's going to take it from Silverman, and they're clear of Regal Reform.
Decorations for the 7th race close in 15 minutes time.